Yesterday, the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, made a surprise visit to the home of a Yoruba leader of the Yoruba socio-political group, Afenifere in Akure, Ondo State. At that meeting, Mr. Tinubu had met Fasorati, where he presented his 80-page manifesto to the elder statesman with other prominent Yoruba leaders in attendance. Well, let me allow you to listen to some of the sound bites which came out of that event in Akure.
We will change the course of history by the grace of God. Governance is tempting and complex, but I promise Nigerians that we will turn this ship around by the grace of God. This is a copy of our agenda. We can't put everything in it. Your prayer that I got inside before I got outside here may not be enough, but keep on praying. And please, keep the promise. You will attend the inauguration.
If you look very carefully, and I know you should have known this, even those who are opposing restructuring are already asking for it, crying for it, or trying to implement it. Restructuring is very cardinal in this country. So, we would like you to remember this very well. Not only restructuring, but security.
Well, those are some of the sound bites that came out of that meeting in Akure, the home of Power Fasorati. Well, the meeting with Power Fasorati is coming after Chief Adebanjo, who now leads Afenifere, had endorsed a Southeasterner in person of Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party as a preferred candidate of Afenifere for the 2023 presidential race. Tonight, we shall be speaking with Chief Adebanjo, who will be joining us live from his residence in Lekki area of Lagos State. Let's now go live to Lekki area of Lagos State, where Chief Adebanjo, the leader of Afenifere, is standing by to speak to us on the event of yesterday, where his leader, Power Fasorati, was said to have endorsed Bola Tinubu, the APC presidential candidate for the president of 2023. Thank you so much indeed, Chief Adebanjo, and it's good to see you again. Let's begin the conversation, and please clarify for us, is there any confusion in Afenifere? First, we know the stance of your own leadership of Afenifere, that you, Chief Adebanjo, at one time endorsed Peter Obi of the Labour Party for president in 2023, and the event that happened yesterday, you were absent at that meeting. What is going on exactly?
There is nothing going on other than an attempt to split Afenifere, to which I will not be a party. I will tell you the story and I won't go further. Power Fasorati phoned me on Friday that Tinubu had phoned him that wanted to come and see him, and he wanted to say he shouldn't come. And I said, no, don't do that. You're an elder statesman. If you want to see you, why not? And I go further. Please note what I'm saying, because I'm not going to say more, because I don't want a controversy over this petty thing. I said that because you phoned me, that is why I will comment further. It is a sort of conspiracy among those who want to get Afenifere divided. They have been on this plan over a month ago. And my members came to me to alert. I said, well, don't talk about it. It will be a diversion. All we want now is an election on issues. And so I will direct you to the statement I made, tracing the history of our own supporting Southeast. And Afenifere is not a cultural organization for the Yorubas. I continue to repeat that emphatically. And I did say that during my interview, during my statement, that Afenifere is the Yoruba interpretation of action group led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who is the champion of federalism in Nigeria. And it was on that context that the question of rotation and federal character came in. We are party to it. And he said, for us to be united in Nigeria, Nigeria cannot be ruled under a unity form of government. We fought that case until we went to a conference in 1954. And the whole country agreed on federalism, including Dr. Akure, who before then was a unitarist. And I often refer you pressmen to the Daily Times of late 53 or early 54, after the return of London Constitutional Conference, when Akure on a 19 from the plane said, federalism is imperative. It was on that basis that the position of premiership was established in this region, and autonomy was granted to them. Every region has its own. All these revolutions we are talking about were included. All the things that can cause a friction between various ethnic nationalities that constitute Nigeria, we solved it out, and we had our independence. Before that, we had self-government, under which our law became Premier Savdana and all that. It's a long story. But I was just trying to cut it short to show our own position on Southeast is not a new agenda for us. Only those who want to make some importance or some relevance now. And I was stressing that issue to educate our people.
Anjo,
when I noticed that they want
apologies to cut in, because I like to, there are a few questions, there are a few questions I would like you to answer to, so that you can clarify the position of Afenifere, because there are a lot of stories out there about what is going on.
Position
and
of
you as a leader of Afenifere, taking over from Pafasoranti, may be able to clarify. You've told us that you spoke with Pafasoranti. Now, let me, and I like if you can help me tackle those questions quickly. One of the questions is this. I don't know if you can hear me, Chief Adebanjo. One of the questions that people are asking is, did you consult Pafasoranti before the endorsement of Peter Obi of the Labour Party?
I don't have to consult. He has handed over the party to me over a year ago. That's not the way we do it in Action Group. And he knows it. I'm not a PDF leader. He said his trial is old and that I should carry on. That is the context of the letter he gave me. And ever since we have been carrying on, no problem. But when he phoned me, that's why I want to trace that history. When he phoned me and I told him, well, these people want to cause dissension. Get out of it. I know all of them. And Shehu, I would like you to examine all those who are there, who you are calling Afenifere. Ask them when did they attend the Afenifere meeting last. And look at all the personnel. They are the Yoruba leaders in the APC. I don't want to go into all that diversion. That's what I have to avoid it. All I want to say
let me then get another clarification.
Reasons.
From what you gleaned from that meeting in Akure, Chief Adebanjo, would you say that was an endorsement from Pafasoranti?
For what he told me, from what I understand, it cannot be an endorsement. Because I told him, he sees him as a citizen. I would like you to ask Professor Pointilekpe the side of Afenifere is opposed to it. If he says yes, okay, I'm okay. But the people who are in Afenifere, the secretary, the executive and all that, where we are. But it's those who have left Afenifere, who are jealous of the solidarity there now, and who want to condescension that they are bringing him in. And I warn Afenifere, don't allow yourself to be put into this mess. I can deal with all of them when they are. They were not there when we are doing all these things. But I don't want any diversion at this time. Afenifere is for Yobi, hook, like, and sinker.
And
not
it takes
because
me,
of
your response
anything.
now takes me to
Even
the questions and those who have alleged that Chief Adebanjo has not moved on. He feels offended about what has happened in the past, in the early 2000s, about the political party and your alliance or association with Bola Tinubu and the fallout and a lot of the controversies at that time. But let me ask you, and you have the opportunity to be able to clarify this issue. Have you moved on? Have you forgiven Bola Tinubu from your differences and at that time?
Shehu, I want to correct you and stop talking about forgiving Bola Tinubu. If Bola Tinubu should ask me to forgive him for betraying the party, how can he say I offend him when that is not the basis under which he was elected? That's why I say I don't want to get to this problem. That will be the diversion. If anybody wants to come about that diversion, let them come straight. And they were fighting on board with Afenifere. So by the time you go into this story, you are opening a lot of Pandora box, which will leave the question of the issue of the election on issue-based basis for Obi. It is now down, we are now talking, are you voting for the Yoruba man? And I made it clear in our statement. Presidency is not between the Igbos and the Yorubas. Presidency is a national thing for which if I will taught us to be one. So it's not a question of anybody offending anybody. On principle, as I've said, on equity, on inclusion, Southeast must be there. And I said all these things in our statement. If anybody wants to attack, they should attack me on that statement. They should forget the messenger.
The reason why, the reason why I asked that question, is because of those who said the reason why Chief Adebanjo would not support Bola Tinubu is because he still holds that difference against Bola Tinubu, and perhaps he had not let go of the differences they had. What you have said that is some kind of betrayal from Bola Tinubu. But the question now is,
my dear,
if you say that the reason for supporting Peter Obi is to give an Igbo man an opportunity to be Nigeria's president,
purely ideological and constitutional,
of the South. Go ahead, please.
Carry on. So
I wanted to ask if one of the reasons that you have given in the past is that you're looking for someone who has capacity. Above that, you are also looking at the issue of restructuring, which Afenifere has been talking about over the years. Now, should Bola Tinubu, in his manifesto, talk about restructuring, and he decides to restructure, would you reconsider supporting him or endorsing him?
My dear Shehu, don't be led by those people who don't understand or don't to confuse. How does that question of anything against him be coming here? The question of something is part of the manifesto we have. I have given the reason why the Southwest cannot be. Are you ignoring that in my statement? I said the Southwest has social orientation of races, on inclusion, on equity. And South and South is all. And the Southeast is the remaining zone that has not had a bite at it. That is the question. Don't go anything about to derail the issue and spray. That's why I don't want to talk about this, whether they go there or not. Those are the issues. They should say no, the Southwest has not had it, Obasanjo has not been there. And we are fighting for rotation to avoid any section of the country monopolizing presidency. And I gave the reason. When Abiola left, they said they were now to pacify us. They brought in OBJ. After OBJ, Yar'Adua came in. After Yar'Adua, Jonathan came in. After Jonathan, Buhari came in. Buhari now done 8 years, coming back to the south. Should we go to the south where we have already had our share? Or we go to the south, which has had the share? Is south is not part of the south? That is the question. That is where the action group stands. We are a party of ideological standing. Every stand.
All right, let me ask, for fairness' sake, if you said that you're considering the Southeast in the equation to become Nigeria's president based on history and antecedent, or based on the history of who had ruled this country at least in the last 20-something years since 1999. But out of the 18 candidates that are up on the ballot for 2023, what gave rise to the choice of Peter Obi, and is he the only Southeasterner or the only Igbo man on the ballot?
My dear, go and read that statement. I was going to consider only anybody from the Southeast. And from the Southeast, we chose on Obi. It's a simple thing. If we went per class, then we should invite some other people from other regions. I said, no, well, I'm not an hypocrite. They are not qualified. Just on the same basis I disqualify Atiku. How can a northerner who have used 8 years there, another northerner going back there, making a northerner doing it about 30 years? This is the logic. Don't allow these Confucianists to bring anything to the thing. Those are the issues they should address.
No, Chief Adebanjo, I'm just asking these questions to help clarify the positions of Afenifere, and perhaps those who are asking for clarity, those who are asking for equity in the decision of the Yoruba socio-political group that has, over the years, gained a reputation for itself. Now, another question I'd like you to answer, to give some clarity, is on the basis of the decision of yesterday by Afenifere, who is your leader that you took over from? Now, the question is, have you been able to speak with Afenifere after yesterday's event? And it does look now that Afenifere now has 2 endorsements. No. Don't continue with this confusion. I'm trying to put you straight. You are saying this was that is what I want Afenifere. That don't allow them to bring you to this mess. They are not just coming to greet you. They are coming to ask for your blessings. Try to avoid it. They have tried this one that means. Ask him. That is the statement. And that's what they came in. And I want to hear from him that no, what Afenifere has said, I don't agree with. And you are saying from what I heard, the man has handed over. After handing over and saying that he's tired, is he still in action? I ask you. When you go on leave, I guess somebody should be taking your position. Will you be taking sanction from where you are on leave? But yeah, I don't want any confusion. Finally, Chief Adebanjo, you are tonight speaking to the nation on the position of a group that is well respected across, not only in Nigeria, but across the world, those who understand how the Yoruba race is being shaped and how the leadership has come over the last years. On a final note, and in perhaps 30 seconds, if you may, give us an understanding of the way forward, and perhaps the impact or the influence of Afenifere, since Afenifere is not able to put up a political party. what is the way forward from here such that the position and the stance of the Afenifere which you lead stays and that people might understand better? Just in 30 seconds, Chief Adebanjo.
My dear, there's no confusion. It is you press men that are confusing. I said the man handed over to me. And he has never done anything to disturb me ever since. It is those who want to be relevant. I don't want to mention names here because that is where they will be disputing. I will have been mentioning names, those who are there, to ask them when last did they attend meeting, even the fashion of this when he was in office. But that's why another diversion, which they want to avoid. I don't want to avoid that. I want to avoid that. All I'm saying is that's the stand of Afenifere. And I started this, I said it in my statement, that I was the first to say Southeast should have it, and I said in that statement that Yoruba leaders came to me and said, well, I even don't know, Obi has not emerged. But I said, I don't believe in this election. And the man said, well, if there's going to be an election, where will the presidency go? I said, of course, Southeast. I even don't know Obi is coming out then.
All right.
Is that principle I'm talking about?
All right, Chief Adebanjo, we must leave it at that.
Bring it
thank you so much
you
indeed for your time tonight, for the clarifications that you've made. Thank you so much indeed. And it's good to see you, especially tonight. You're looking very casual and perhaps I would say younger. Thank you so much, Chief Adebanjo, for talking to us on the program tonight. Appreciate it.